Let's go back 1 week to the Queen City, Regina, Saskatchewan. Surratt first, hole shot. Thompson on the inside, then Motocross goes down, then Hayes goes down, then Thompson goes down. Big pass for Wright on Pettis. Thompson takes the first moto win. Second moto, it's the Triple Crown for Surratt, but the big number one got out in front. Moffenbauer quickly into second, but Thompson takes the second win and the overall. Welcome race fans to round 5 of the 2017 Rockstar Energy Drink Motocross Nationals. This week, Gopher Dunes just outside of Tillsonburg, Ontario. Today's MX2 race action will be presented by Motovan.com. Brian Coster and Mark Travers in the booth with our MX2 pilots at the gate with a little bit of sand prep, Babs.
Yeah, deep sand here. Riders packing in their starting launch pads, trying to get as much traction as they can. Riders getting their race faces on, Travs.
All right, let's get to our points in the MX2 class after 4 of 10 Fabs. Thompson looking really good out front. Osby, Moffenbauer, Surratt, Pettis your top 5. Then we're going to go to Dylan Wright, Jacob Hayes, Hayden Halstead, Christopher Fortier, and Casey Keese in 10th. So we got some good battles in our top 10 as we move into the first round of the East.
Gopher Dunes, a very crucial day in the championship to see who's boss on the roughest track in North America. This day is going to set the stage as we head into the final stages of the championship.
Stabs, let's talk about this Gopher Dune sand track. You mentioned that soft, bottomless beach sand. It's one of the roughest tracks in the world. Look at this facility.
It's set up perfectly for National Pro Motocross. What a place. Lots of parking, lots of room for the spectators. They've opened up a bunch of these infield spectator galleries this year, modified the track. There to the right, that huge mountain of dirt. And then these big single jumps there to the left as they hit that Rockstar finishing line. And check out the start. It is high speed, and a beer garden's going to be nestled right in there too, Traz. Fun for all.
All right, MX2 pilots coming out onto parade. There's the 184 Tan Award. It's going to be an absolutely gorgeous day. Time to buckle up. 3 gorgeous Rockstar girls, Fabs and Travs. Gate drops next. Welcome back to the Gopher Dunes MX track. We get set for the 2017 Rockstar Energy Drink Motocross Nationals, and in round 5 with the lovely Rockstar Olivia bringing that Moto 1 board across. And here comes Elle and Amanda out to see Sir Paul as we get this first MX2 Moto underway, Babs.
And this first Moto will be brought to you by RoyalDistributing.com, Canada's power sports leader, and the sponsor of the Royal Distributing Hole Shot and the Triple Crown, Travs. Big time, woo, a little breezy out here.
He's getting a little cheeky out by the 30 board as we head back to the line. The number 24, Victoria BC pilot Ryan Lalonde on that 2-stroke of that inside gate pick. I think you want to be just a little bit further in, Brian. An absolutely gorgeous start straight into that high bank left-hander. And the gate is down, Brian. Coming to that first corner. Who's going to get down road? Distributing hole. Cha-cha-cha-cha.
Upshifting hard on the brakes. It looks like it's the big number 12, MX101 Yamaha Sean Moffenbauer with the big shot.
So Muffin is on top with the number 787 Redemption Racing KTM of Josh Osby in second, and the number 35 of Jason Benny on the inside. Motovan Black Rider with a great start. 338 of Surratt, and here comes the gunner.
Check out Osby over jumping, totally flatlands the finish line jump. He had passed Moffenbauer. Moffenbauer gets him back here into this hard left-hand 180. What aggression from Josh Osby, kind of backfired on him as he flatlanded the biggest jump on the track. Unreal.
Tommy Gunn unloading the huge clip on the 338. Surratt moves by him on the inside. Looks like Benny could be his next victim. An absolutely gorgeous track, Brian. From practice to qualifying, already starting to get rough. Not a smooth area around here.
How about Jason Benny, number 35, out of Quebec on that PRMX Kawasaki, just filling Thompson in with a face full of roost. Thompson wants to get him by quick as he jumps into this kind of new EBC section coming up to the mountain. The pass is in the books.
Remember, Thompson last year was absolutely unbeatable on this track. He went from last to first in the first moto and then clean sweep the day, and that's what really drove him to the championship last year, was this round here at Gopher Dunes.
Yeah, this is an unreal facility to set the stage, like we said off the top. Check out Gopher Dunes Honda Homeboy, the 14 of Dylan Wright on the gas. He is a sand specialist making moves. Here comes Surratt in red on that Nut Up Industries. Check out on the outside. Wright takes 2 in one corner.
through that pro-only at Trimmy section, back to a replay of the Royal Distributing hole shot. Look at little M on the gas, almost wheeling over that Royal Distributing hole shot line. 200 bucks in his cheaters.
That was a huge hole shot. He's going to want to get that next one to get that triple crown. But here comes Dylan Wright, Gopher News Honda rider, new to the Honda, and he has proven himself on this track before, so we'll see if he can reel in a little muff.
Osby in second place, having a little issue on the wide side, and here comes Tommy Gunn with a dynamite smooth line, crossing over to the outside on the Camelback. Ryan, oh my goodness, is Thompson aggressive through this section?
Thompson flatlands, and expecting him to have a big jar there. His suspension is set up so well, just cushioning him into that bottoming out situation. Check out Sean, he ain't waiting around for nobody up front.
Oh, Muff is on fire right now, but this just goes to show you how you have to ride this in, Brian. You have to be on top of the back wheel, keep that front end light.
Osby remounting the charge. Look at Osby flatlanding now. He wants a piece of Thompson, and Thompson takes that inside hipper. Osby opting to rail around the outside. Now freight training. There is a lot of lines on this racetrack, but always one real good line. Check out Tanner Ward, the Pro-Am rider with a great start, holding up Jacob Hayes right now. Or I don't know if he's holding him up, but he's in front of Hayes, the factory Alpine Star Kawasaki rider.
First pro race for that young KTM phenom. Let's get back to the battle for third place. Dylan Wright, who has been almost invincible on this track over the years. Brian, remember back when he was an intermediate on that two-stroke, he was on the podium, and he's got great lines and so aggressive in these last couple of rounds.
Yeah, and that first podium for him was him as an intermediate Pro-Am rider. He's just getting sauced up with Roost from Osby's Redemption Racing KTM right now. He's going to want to make a move here. As much as this sand roost doesn't hurt, it's very annoying, and when they water it like they do here, it just sticks like glue to your goggles, your hands. It's a bit of a mess, and you want to get out of that roost zone as quick as possible.
What's interesting about the track right now is when you look at it on TV, it doesn't look that rough, but you watch the way the bikes are navigating over the bumps and in those grooves trying to find lines, and you can tell it's extremely difficult.
First moto of the day, Travs, and it's going to be the smoothest. They don't groom a lot here between motos. They'll be grooming faces. What's up with Hayes right now?
Hayes has got an issue.
Hayes is slowing dramatically. This is not good at all. Let's hope it's not a bodily injury.
Well, let's face it, he came back from missing the second moto in Regina last week after that huge crash, knee and shoulder and ankle, so he is definitely not 100%. To the Tommy Gunn in second place. He looks pretty good. Wright still pressuring Osby. The 787 on that Redemption Racing KTM and the 14 of Dylan Wright on that gorgeous GDR Honda.
The Honda has all new graphics for this weekend, and Wright has been ingesting just a shovel load of sand following this KTM, and I like him now, taking different lines. This corner is set up beautifully. There's inside, outside, but then the lines cross, so that's a recipe for disaster as the day wears on. And then you get into the braking bumps as you see those bikes dancing up and down, and then on the gas hard. This part of the track takes the Guyangas. It's a big single into these roller-type whoops. They're already into some lappers having issues early. Wright makes the move with a mitt full of throttle, but gets hung up. This section is just hideous, left ungroomed from last year's National. They had it ribboned off for an entire year. Finally, Wright makes it stick, but Osby is not letting up, boy. He is a tenacious young American from Ohio. This kid's got the ingredients.
Look at the dynamite English on the number 12 of Sean Moffenbauer, MX101 Yamaha with a little help from Rockstar. You know, Wright must have been furious chasing Osby, because you're right, he was getting totally covered in roost, and that just drives you crazy.
Check him out. He has reeled in Thompson a little bit, and there is a rivalry between these riders. All kinds of rivalries in MX2. These two, it's in the books, they do not like each other.
Well, think about this, though. The moment that Wright started to do better in the 2017 season was when he turned up the temperature and got more aggressive. But that's what gets him in trouble in the pits with the other riders and the other team managers. They don't like how aggressive he is.
Yes, this is a nasty sport, and when you're eating roost, you have to
look at this.
Resort to some serious tactics. Wright makes a move. He's very aggressive. That's a totally clean pass.
Wow.
You can't take anything away from Dylan right there. Cole Thompson is just in tow right now, and looks like he's a little dejected by his body anglaise.
It's been a long time since you've seen the number 14 of Dylan Wright pass the number 1 of Cole Thompson straight up, even on this track, to the number 12. Sean Moffenbauer getting his last lap flag. And here is the number 184, the KTM phenom, the young intermediate, Tanner Ward, Brian, who was extremely fast yesterday in amateur racing. Got a great start, sitting in 6th place right now, Brian, and actually looks really confident and in control.
On the last lap, 6th place on one of the roughest tracks we have. This is a huge motor for him. He's getting pressured.
No!
Oh, man, what a mistake. Was that Hayden Halstead that was pressuring him, the local rider from Waterford, Ontario? Moffenbauer's teammate. There's P. Swan from Yamaha. There's JSR is right there to gather up his rider and collect his bike. Oh my, can you imagine on the last lap? Look at this. He comes in, thinks he's doing right, gets his weight just forward, just gets the front end in that soft stuff and a classic high slide over the handling bars, and he just eats dirt.
He just got over that little lip on the right-hand side, Brian, and he's lucky that bike didn't crash right on his back. This is a tough sport, and he's a little rubber band, though. Got right back up, up his nails to the number 12, Sean Moffenbauer. He's been in the lead since, well, let's say turn number 3 after Osby passed him back, and looking fantastic. And Brian, this is a big statement race because Moffenbauer just needs to go out and win all the motos and then let the championship come to him, if so be it.
Check out how clean Moff is on the front. He's only had to real deal with some lappers who get the blue flags and generally been getting out of the way really well for him. Coming up to take that Rockstar Energy finish line jump is Sean Moffenbauer with that first moto win in style, I must say.
Let's get to our top 10. First to MX2, Moffenbauer, Wright, and Thompson, your top 3. Let's go down to Casey Keaston, 7th. Taylor Arsenault, a strong 8th. Then Jonah Brittens and the likable Jeremy Pronovo in 10th.
Busting out a huge hole shot, wire-to-wire victory, the number 12, Sean Moffenbauer. Moff, you dominated a 10-second win. You got to feel awesome in this heat.
I mean, obviously I don't think any of us are feeling very good right now, but yeah, the Yamaha was working good. Joe, my suspension tuned right, and honestly the guys made that moto easy for me. So, like you said, I got out to that whole shot and I led wire to wire, and that's a good feeling.
The Fast and the Furious, the number 14 of Dylan Wright. Dylan, what a race. You hound dog Thompson and just pulled the trigger on him on your home track. A very excellent performance, over jumping everything out there to work your way into second, dude. It was incredible.
Yeah, I didn't get the best of starts at moto, and really had to put my head down and catch up to those guys. They were riding really good out there, and just had to kind of do my laps, and I was lucky enough to catch up there at Track's pretty rough, and had kind of a tough week. Was a little ill this week, so I'm pretty pumped to get up here.
FXO rider Sean Moffenbauer with swag aplenty. That's what you get when you come to a national. We got more racing after the break.
Welcome back to one of the gnarliest motocross tracks in the world. This is Gopher News in round 5 of the 2017 Rockstar Energy Drink Motocross Nationals, and the lovely L blowing Brian Coster a kiss with the Moto2 board. I love it. And here comes Rockstar Amanda with Rockstar Liv out to see Sir Paul Kingsley. He has his watch. Everything is on time, Brian. Everything is on time.
And King just reveling in the presence of those lovelies. The second MX2 moto brought to you by Honda. Be a daredevil, Travis, and ride red.
Brian, a huge contingent of Honda Canada faithful out today to see the number 14 of Dylan Wright. And after that first moto, he's delivering in fine style. Look at this great pan back. What do you think about gate position for the whole shot? Little mucks of what, about 12 gates in?
And Tanner Ward with about the last gate pick after his crash gets that very inside spot. And Moff in about the same spot. He got that first hole shot, of course. So now, 5 seconds. Everyone focusing on the gate traps, waiting for that gate to drop. It is down. Who's going to get that road-trimming hole shot on board with the 21 two-stroke of Davey Frazier?
Frazier gets a great jump with that drift action cam right up the middle. Keaston Halstead in the mix, and it looks like Sean Moffenbauer and the 35 of Jason Benny. That is too close to call right now, Brian. We're going to have to get an official report with a replay on that. Right now, Moffenbauer is in the lead, Benny in second, so two good starts for both of those pilots.
Both Moffenbauer and Osby totally flatland that jump, and what a day for Jason Benny out of Quebec, the youngster, national number 35, getting 2 great starts on a gnarly sand track. Man, that kid's got some timing today.
He sure does, and he's had great starts here before, Brian, so he knows something about coming off that sand gate. Quickly, the 787 Fly Redemption Racing KTM of Osby's in second, and here comes the 100 Alpenstar Sponsor Energy Kawasaki of Jacob Hayes.
Man, Hayes makes the pass. Great to have Hayes back in the race. Not really sure what happened to him in that first moto track, but back out in the lead group now, sitting second with a monstrous pass on Osby.
Thompson in the mix. I saw the 338 of Surratt, and I have a feeling that Dylan Wright might be right behind this package. So right now, coming into this Dunlop roller section here, Brian, they launch themselves in. This corner's been causing problems all day, but some good options. There's Wright.
Wright's got a lot of local knowledge here, so when the track gets rough, that's when it's the eyeballs looking for the smooth lines. Thompson rallying around the outside, wants to get by Osby. Osby has been a venerable foe to all the top riders. Dylan Wright makes a nice quick pass by Benny into this super rough section. The riders dread this every time around. But look how fast Wright goes there. He's gaining on Thompson. Remember, he passed Thompson in the first one. He wants to do it again.
And there's a lot of Dylan Wright fans here today as he takes that hipper on the inside. Oh my goodness, look at how choppy it was coming to the corner. He'll do anything to make a pass. That's what I love about Dylan Wright. And again, a lot of those supporters, they're waving the Dylan Wright flags and the t-shirts. It's a great day to be a Dylan Wright fan. Let's get back to the whole shot. They gave it to Benny. The officials looked at it, and it's got to be a scant knobby. Moffenbauer was right there. Let's take a look at it one more time in really slow-mo.
Man, that is just by the skin of a knob right there. Holy cow, you need ultra super slow-mo for that one, but they're giving it to Benny, so there goes that triple crown for Moff. He's only got 200 in the jeans, not 800, but Benny's gonna like that. He'll be spending that tonight at dinner.
He certainly will. The number 14 of Dylan right now going inside in the player's corner on Osby. Boy, right now, the number 14 of Dylan Wright is very determined, Brian. He did not get necessarily a fabulous start, but he's made a bunch of passes, and now he's in third place.
Well, from a fan's perspective, Dylan Wright is the consummate rider. He just lays it all on the line to make a pass. The competitors can say, oh, he's a bit of a hazard.
Whoa!
He does this, he does
Moffenbauer
that.
had an issue, Fab. Sorry about that. Moffenbauer had an issue in that corner, is now in second place. And the number 100, Jacob Hayes, has the lead.
Well, Moffenbauer got all sideways there, too much throttle, and just spun her around. Hayes, the opportunist, right in there. So the Monster Energy rider leading. I don't think we've seen Hayes lead many motos yet this year, so new territory for Jacob.
Well, Hayes was in the lead actually in the first Moto Regina when he went down, so great to have him back. He's ultra fast and getting better with every single moto. But Dylan Wright, look at him, Brian, on the outside to go inside on a super rough line, and he takes little Muff. Unbelievable.
This kid he's good. There's no question about it. He's still young. He's getting experience every year. So Dylan Wright is somewhat of a phenom, but check out Moffenbauer. Oh, Moffenbauer gets a little swapper. Can't even do the quad tree line. No, what the heck?
Oh, classic high side coming out of that rhythm section into the start straight. I can't believe Wright got up that quickly, for crying out loud.
Wow, that has got to hurt. Check out his helmet peak, all akimbo. He's getting his clutch lever pushed back up into the right position, and I wouldn't be surprised he's got some bent bars after that incident.
Thompson now going inside on Osby. That's the battle for third place, Brian. Let's go back and have a replay of that nasty crash.
Wright makes a couple wicked passes and just takes that bump all wrong, lands with the weight forward. That is a high slide, and he just gets fly swatted right into the ground. But look how quick he's up. His visor all akimbo. We've seen that before, though, racing around with that visor pointing sky high.
Things happen so quickly on a sand track, especially because of how rough it is. Look at Moffenbauer now gaining the outside line and the advantage on Jacob Hayes. Here we go to that big launcher into this super rough Euro untouched section, which is just disgustingly gross. Look at them. They're not carrying any momentum except for the rear wheel of the number 1 of Thompson. What a great line through the middle.
So in one section, Hayes goes from first to third, and that section is just hideous gross. Out front, it is Moffenbauer. But look at the pressure. Oh, nice wheelie move by Thompson. Gets up over those rough bumps. Suspension out here is key. This track is super rough. Look at these motorcycles working under these athletes. This is like riding a bucking Bronco for 25 minutes plus 2 laps in treacherous conditions, heat. It is insane out there.
Here it is again, Brian. So Moffenbauer gets a great launch and then a smoother entry into this section. Hayes is on that rough wide line. And then the crossover by Thompson. Look at the wheeling through that rhythm section. He's just like poetry in motion.
That is just sweet stuff. You get that front wheel up and over some of this stuff, and the back wheel basically will take care of itself. But it's all about body positioning on the bike, the conditioning. We can't even stress how fit these athletes are. Moffenbauer with another problem. Thompson out front.
Moffenbauer has had the lead twice in this moto and given it away, Brian, in the exact same corner. That is unbelievable, although Moffenbauer has lost the lead many times so far this season. That's not new.
And got it back.
And got it back to the number 787 of Osby, who's been very consistently fast today. Oh, and Hayes just about has an issue in there. And here comes the 14 of Dylan Wright, currently in 5th place.
That visor's acting like a parachute there at high speed. That's going to be yanking his head back. Nicole Thompson now takes the white flag out front on a bit of a gift. Oh, and Milan, the rider from Victoria, BC. We saw him on the inside in that first moto, and that two-stroke fires it up. Nice young kid traveling the country with his dad, just loving life here in the Pro National Series.
And he went down in that Cherby's corner in the back section. It was just disgusting. As we see right on the inside through the Motovan corner, does he have him? He's almost got the full Metzger bucket. That thing's not causing him any problems at all. Look at this bar to bar, Brian. I love this section of the track.
Well, at this stage of the race, every point counts. Wright's got that sweet line on the outside. Hayes is just going, wow, 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 wow. What happened? And it's too late now in the day for him to maybe capitalize on that smooth outside, sneaky line. But it's the gunner. Oh, Tommy Gunn Thompson with the lead, inherited from Moffenbauer's little screw up in that blue corner where he screwed up twice.
Remember how furious Thompson was after the first moto. He didn't even actually want to come to the podium. He was so angry. And he's like that all the time. If he doesn't win, he takes that stuff right to heart.
What a competitor.
But he comes back with a strong performance in the second moto. I think they must have talked about setup and some changes, and he looked really good in this moto. I mean, he's so patient and calm, takes the moto win, and wow, love to see that stuff.
He's happy now, Travs. Happy now. Podium next.
Welcome back to the Rockstar Energy Drink Motocross Nationals. There's the number 35, Jason Benny, getting his Royal Distributing hole shot check. Fabs, take that top 10, second MX2.
To the Yamaha leaderboard, we know our top 3, but how about Wright coming back to 4th after that nasty crash? Hayes 5th, Surratt, a quiet moto in 6th, Keaston, awesome ride. How about Ward 8th, Frazier, and Kirchmeier?
Making a strong statement in the second MX2 moto is the number 1 Nicole Thompson. Cole, I know you weren't happy after the first moto, but you came back and laid down some smack in that second moto.
Yeah, no, exactly. I think I said in the first moto I wasn't happy with the way I rode, and bike setup, we went the wrong way after practice, first moto, and we just basically went back to the same setup I rode last year here, and I mean, you've seen the results. It was pretty much on easy street for that whole moto, and it felt good to pull away and put a dominating win in.
With the 787 of Josh Osby, 3rd place, second MX2 moto. Josh, a very consistent, fast day. You were in the mix all the time. Love that never give up attitude.
Yeah, it was good. Obviously, first moto I struggled, ended up 4th, and just didn't feel very good. Moto 2, we battled for the lead a little bit, and then battled with Cole, and ended up 3rd. I need to get a little bit more speed, but we'll get there. We're going to keep working hard. I got an awesome group of people around me, and yeah, we're just not going to give up and keep after it.
Wow, to the series points after 5 of 10. Thompson with a sizable lead. Then it's Osby, Moffenbauer. How about Surratt? Right in the mix. Keys, Hayes, Peditos, Frazier, and Christopher Forget.
A fabulous day in the Gopher Dunes Sand. There's your top 3 in the MX2 class. Hey, don't forget to like us on the CMRC MX Facebook page and go to mxnationals.ca for all the goodies. You have been watching the 2017 Rockstar Energy Drink Motocross Nationals. Presented by Motovan.com, Canada's source for power sports parts and accessories. For Brian Coster, I'm Mark Travers. How about a couple of ouchies on the way out? We'll see you next week in Notre Dame de Bon Conseil.